डॉक्टर्स की फीस हाई होती है, टीचर्स को कोई कुछ भी दे दो चलता है. This is where India needs to change.
Absolutely.
The educator should be the most well-paid profession in the country. Just to share with you that the Silicon Valley also has a very high population of autism. So today when I have from urban Mumbai gone into this really into rural Maharashtra, I feel उधर कुछ नहीं है. मुझे लगता है जैसे मैं 40 साल पहले काम कर रही थी मुंबई में, मैं वहीं पहुंच गई हूँ. हमारी सोशल वर्कर कहती है हमें, मैम वो तो दिखाते ही नहीं है इन बच्चों को. भले दिस गवर्नमेंट हैज डन अ लॉट फॉर दिव्यांग के लिए, फिर भी हमारे कंट्री में बहुत बहुत कुछ करना है.
एंड यू वर सेइंग पहले उनको पागल बोलते थे. हैज इट चेंज्ड नाउ?
That is why we have a place called Om ABODE, which is a huge experimental space for these students. They can run, scream, shout where they want, and they will get tired and come to their classroom. So, बहुत समय मेरे को भी कोई लोग कहते थे ये पागलों की डॉक्टर है, ये पागलों से काम करती है. तो जब हमने इतना सुना तो इन बच्चों ने कितना सुना ये येड़े हैं. लोग कहते थे ये बच्चे पागल हैं. तो पागलों की दुनिया है. पागल के साथ कौन काम करेगा, ये इनको कौन सिखाएगा, इनको पीछे वाले कमरे में बांध दो.
I really want to thank Dr. Radhike Khanna to join us today on the podcast, on the talk show. Welcome, ma'am.
नमस्ते.
नमस्ते नमस्ते. नहीं, मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि आप आए हैं. आप बहुत बिजी हैं एंड आपने अपने बिजी स्केड्यूल से टाइम निकाला और मेरे टॉक शो पे आने के लिए थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर राधिके. सो आई एम वेरी एक्साइटेड एंड नर्वस ऑल्सो बिकॉज यू नो मैं जब भी आपसे मिली, आपने इतना सारा काम किया है, इतना सारा काम किया है. आप पिछले 40 साल से प्लस से स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन, डाउन सिंड्रोम बच्चों, ऑटिस्टिक बच्चों के लिए इतना कुछ कर रहे हैं और आप यहाँ पे मेरे सामने बैठे तो मेरा नर्वस होना बनता है.
अच्छा. हम तो बच्चों की नर्वसनेस निकाल देते हैं.
हाँ, ये भी करेक्ट है.
Your smile is so beautiful.
Thank you. So is yours, ma'am. Radhike, ma'am. Okay. So, I was reading about you, and the purpose of helping the special children came to you very early in your life. Can you tell us something about where did the inspiration come from? How did you start? What motivated you at such a? क्योंकि बहुत बार हमको ये सारी चीज़ें usually अगर किसी के घर में कोई स्पेशल बच्चा होता है या फैमिली में होता है तो वो हमको मोटिवेट करता है ये सब करने के लिए. बट व्हाट मोटिवेटेड और इंस्पायर्ड यू टू डू दिस?
मेरा जन्म अमृतसर में एक अच्छे पंजाबी ख़ानदान में हुआ था और हमारे माँ बाप had seen partition. तो we were groomed in a way. My father always said तो हम अपने से नीचों को देखा करो. To be feel blessed and grateful कि हमारे पास कितना कुछ है. तो हमारी परवरिश ऐसे हुई. And I came from a business family where we were always taught to think first for the labor. तो हमारे दिवाली में पहले लेबर को सब कुछ मिलता था, हमको दिवाली दिन मिलता था. तो मेरे को लगता है कि हमारी जो पेरेंटिंग थी, जो परिवेश था, that was to think for humanity. And so when I was studying at Sapphire College, there was a special needs school there. And the principal, I used to go and help in the school as the head of the student council. And the principal there, she found a lot of talent in me. And when I finished my design, she said, "What are you doing?" So I said, "I'm going to join Nirmala Niketan Home Science because every good Punjabi family girl gets married and has 2 kids." So she said, "Why?" So I said, that's it. So I'll be doing that. And so she said, no. Go across and take admission in special education. And I didn't know much. I had seen these kids. I used to volunteer. And they were sometimes very scary. And I would just go and do some seva. That's it. But she motivated me and I took admission into special ed. And that's where my journey began till I did my doctorate I was there for good 35 years in that school, where I nurtured and created the first curriculum in the world for how a severely retarded child can be an artist in their own right. So when this was really going to Very Special Arts International USA, it took a long time for approval because they couldn't think of an Indian at that time having this novel idea. How can a severely retarded child become an artist? So my whole thrust in my doctorate was how to be able to give them an equal status, एक समान, क्योंकि मेरे सारे खोज में, मेरे थीसिस में और उसके बाद जो सिस्टम निकला है वी आर पुटनेपर में, उसमें is highly influenced by the Indian scriptures and the Indian philosophy and the way of living, the Sanatan Dharam. Because I grew up in that environment.
Can you elaborate on that more? How are they connected? How did you kind of get inspired by that and use that for?
So I think I was very spiritual in nature because हमारे घर में हर भगवान की पूजा पाठ होती है, नवरात्रे होते हैं, दशहरा होता, everything. All my mother is devout Sanatan Dharam devotee and my father was a Shiv and a Hanuman Bhakt. So we grew up in an environment where spirituality and religion was imbibed in our lives.
It was like a day-to-day prayer is a part of every day.
Yes, we followed that, and though we went to convent school in Amritsar as well as in Mumbai, I went to a convent school, but they ingrained the attitude of Sanatan Dharam in our lives. So when I was doing my work with the special needs children in Sadhana school, and I was an artist, and artists go more deeply into things. And they see the unwritten word, they explore areas, artists, that their world and realm tells them there is more to the written word.
Very true.
Okay. So today in the digitalized world, you are not going deep creatively.
You're listening to yourself.
Yeah. So in that context, as an artist, when I was working with special needs students and creating a curriculum, मेरे मन में always प्रश्न था, ये अलग क्यों हैं? They are the same, but why are they treated and kept in the last room in the house? Why they are not looked as equals? मैंने ये भी सुना था जब मेरी छोटी बहन पैदा हुई थी, तो she was the fourth child. We had 3 sisters and 1 brother. And when my brother was born, the entire factory stopped working क्योंकि लड़का पैदा हुआ है कि लड्डू देने. मुझे लगा मैं लड़की हूँ, ये अच्छी बात है. So when my younger sister was born, I was 7 years old at that time, and I remember my father saying, "You have a sister," and my father said one very good thing that stayed with me. He said, "सबसे बढ़िया बच्चे हैं कि कमल ने, that's my mother, has given me 4 normal children." And for that time to remember that, उस समय वो कहते थे कि मन बुद्धि बच्चा एक संताप है, So that was the thinking. So when I got into special needs and I started working and creating a curriculum, somewhere in my mind, I wanted to change that mindset.
संताप नहीं, you wanted it to be not looked upon like that.
क्योंकि ऐसे कर्म किए तो ऐसे बच्चा पैदा हुआ. That was the thinking. And that's why the girls and boys were kept in the last room in the bungalows, in the houses, in the people. उनको दिखाते नहीं थे कि हमारे भाई बहनों की शादी नहीं होगी, दूसरी लड़कियों की शादी नहीं होगी, ऐसा मनबुद्धि बच्चा घर में है. That was the thinking. So I grew up in that atmosphere where people worked to bring change, and it was looked as a good thing to do. Today I think one of the things that is a struggle for me as a special educator, nobody in the youth wants to be a special educationist today. They don't want to be a special teacher today. It's not a glamorous job. Certainly it is not a glamorous job, but it is something that is for humanity, we need to do it. So I grew up in an era where working for humanity was approved of. People said it's a good thing to do. So that's how when I
Very
got
good
into
point.
this world of dealing with special needs, and I was at a marriageable age at that time, and my father said, "ये सब शादी के बाद करना." So, but he knew his daughter, and he knew if she's made up his mind, she's going to do it. So he made me at that time take a pledge that I will not earn.
Oh, you'll not earn your own money?
I will not earn because हमारे घर की लड़कियां कमाती नहीं हैं. So I was the first girl in my family who actually took a paycheck. And so I told this to my principal once I took a job, that I will not, I cannot take a salary because I've promised my father I will not take a salary. So she was very disappointed, but she didn't say anything. And one day when I'd gone out on school work, she went to my house, which I didn't know, and she told my father, "There's only one Radhike Khanna that the world is going to have.
Yes.
And we can only afford to give her 300 rupees. Please let her take her salary." She joined her hands and she told my dad, "Please let her take her salary."
Wow.
So one day when I came home and my father asked me, "What they're giving you, please take it." He told me, "And give it back to the children." So I didn't know, but much later, 25 years later, when they were making a book on my work, I came to know that this had
You
happened.
didn't know this for 25 years?
No. There was the author who was writing something, so she came to know. So such mentors in my life I've had who've seen my talent, guided me, and allowed me to stay on a path that was absolutely new, being unfolded.
Thanks to your mentor.
Yes.
I'm getting to meet you. The whole world is being helped by you. The children are being helped by you.
Thank
So
you.
That's thanks to your mentor. How has the society changed? How has the perspective of society changed, or is there a change at all towards special children, children with Down syndrome, autistic children? Was it different then? Is it better today? Or because how many children you must have probably helped, healed, loved, nurtured? Thousands, lakhs?
Yeah, certainly over 5 lakh students.
Over 5 lakh.
Yeah, I've worked in Africa and in other parts of the world where the students are so many. So how things have changed. When I began, हाँ, बच्चों को हम आगे ड्राइंग रूम में नहीं लेके आते थे. मैंने ये भी देखा है कि बच्चे एक खाली कुआं में लड़कियों को बांध रखा है. मैंने देखा हुआ है कि लड़कियों को बिस्तरों के साथ बांध रखा है. और एक डाउन सिंड्रोम्स की जबान जो होती है ना, वो बहुत बड़ी होती है, तो उनको सिखाना पड़ता है कि जबान अंदर रखनी. तो they look like dogs and cats actually for certain reasons, some of them, where their tongue is leathery and big. So there were many interventions we had to do. So if you talk about change, when I was born and in the first 10 years of my life, there was, the government of India had an envelope that used to say, "Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan." Because we were going through the wars with our neighbors, and so there was this whole josh of building the country at that time. So I was in that era where Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. When I finished my studies, and I was in Bombay then, they used to come from the government of India, the envelopes used to come saying, "Mental retardation is not mental illness." तो उस समय लोग कहते थे ये बच्चे पागल हैं, तो पागलों की दुनिया है, पागल के साथ कौन काम करेगा, ये इनको कौन सिखाएगा, इनको पीछे वाले कमरे में बांध दो. So they're pagalpanti, and they got caught in that. So retardation and mental illness became like one big area.
So there was no
bifurcations
or addressing what actually could be the problem. Not at all.
Not at all. They were looked down upon. So बहुत समय मेरे को भी कोई लोग कहते थे ये पागलों की डॉक्टर है, ये पागलों से काम करती है. तो जब हमने इतना सुना तो इन बच्चों ने कितना सुना ये येड़े हैं. So there were so many mental blocks when I started working. So I had to work extremely hard and challenging to first take that mindset up. ये बच्चा एक संताप है, you know. So there were so many mind blocks when I started working. But I had this driven idea कि why can't these girls earn equally like I can?
I'll stop you. I just want to understand, how do you see them differently? Why did you see them differently right from the beginning? I want to understand. It is very difficult. Okay, I will also say that because I have an autistic child in my home, my nephew. Till the time I didn't see him, I used to be scared of children who have deformity, or probably who have, as you said, because I was not, I'm being very honest about it. I was little scared because I used to feel little scared. So, but how, because but when I had a child in my home and I saw how beautiful he is, that changed my point of view. But you didn't have somebody at your home, so how did you see them already as beautiful children or as equals? I'm just not understanding that.
Yes, I had no experience of special needs till I was in college. I didn't even know there was a group of people who were retarded and mentally ill. पागलपन तो लोग कहते थे उस समय, पर it was not understood as what is really पागलपन. So I think there was this girl Vasudha who was my case study that I did for 8 years, and somewhere I saw a glimmer of twinkleness of joy and naughtiness in her. And she was so violent that she could take the whole school, the care workers, and hold them in the evening till 9 in the night. Nobody could go home. She just had to yell and scream, and that was enough for everybody to put a full stop. So her mother and some donors had come, and her mother, when she saw me working, and the team said, she waits for you. She would never wait for anyone. She's a well-known person and she won't wait for anyone, but she waits for you. And she had brought in a donor into the school. And that's when I learned. So she said to somebody, the way Radhike works, she gets into the skin of the child and understands each child. And she transforms them by understanding them. She's not applying her knowledge, but she's transforming them, understanding them. So I think that was a grace that I could see as an artist, or the divine energy gave me to be able to understand them. You know? So generally what we do is we have a program and वो हम थोप देते हैं, वो दे देते हैं बच्चों को कि तुम ये करो. Yeah. And objectively teachers are supposed to follow. But what I experienced, that every child who walked in my office was different. There was no one child with the same kind of disability. So the program had to be tailor-made for each child. And that is where Sister Gaitonde understood what I was doing. And she used to observe me and she used to ask me questions. Why are you doing like this? Why are you doing this? Or what is the reason you're doing this? So to bring change, I had to change and create a new curriculum and make the curriculum so robust that any disability can fit in it. And everybody is at the same plane. So I created the FACE program in my doctorate, and the first part of the FACE program calls Facing Autism and Creating an Environment of Change. So where people shun them away, I said face them, be with them. Let's understand what they want and let's create an environment where we can make change, because autism and a behavior issue was that people get very rigid and they will like to do things the way they see it and the way they want it. How do I thaw it? Allopathy medicine is going to calm him for 4 hours. He is a sack of potatoes for 4 hours. He will not study. After that, he'll again go back into his difficult behavior. So to change behavior for you and me is tough. So to change them is even more tougher. So how do I do it? So with autistic children, it was said that keep the same room, keep everything same, because if you bring any change, there will be chaos. So I
They
had
like
parents,
things predictable. They want
they would
exactly.
break TVs, they would break things.
Yeah.
And I would say, everything's going to be in this room, the TV, the glass case, everything. And he is going to learn to conform, she is going to learn to conform. And so very often my principal used to say, I don't know what calculated risks you take, but you achieve. So they have to live with the same thing. They're not going to pick up and throw this. So their parents would come to me and say, हमारा टीवी ऊपर लगा हुआ है रेलवे स्टेशन की तरह, इतनी सारे टीवी मार दिए हैं, हमारा ये उठा के हमारे सिर पर दे देता है. And I used to say, no, this is not the way you train. You cannot take out things from people's lives. Then it's isolation. When you're isolated, you have nobody to talk to. Then you go more inside. So you need people, you need company, you need an environment. Simultaneously, I got into meditation, Vipassana, and then art of living. So I found a lot of answers in my first Vipassana course as to how the energy moves in the body and how I would be able to help these children. And in Vipassana, you are in 10 days silence. In silence, you get the strength, understanding, and courage to see the world in a larger perspective. So when I saw that I could sit silently, by the fourth day I had created with seeds and pods and leaves, lots of decorations on my little window, which is like a compartment smaller than, it was even smaller than a railway
station. Your imagination.
Yeah. Okay. So in that silence, I learned how energy moves in our body. So way 30 years ago, 35 years ago, the chakra system became very clear to me. So how do I transform this child? Understanding energy and how I will not put allopathy medicines into his system, because allopathy will just for 4 hours calm him.
Slur them down, slow them down, probably just, how do I say, it's like...
And like any addiction, the medicine also becomes an addiction and you have to keep increasing it.
Yes.
So as a teacher, I'm failing because I'm not training my child. I'm not training my student. How is he going to go forward in life? So these are the questions I asked myself when I worked with these students. Because parents would come and tell me horrible, difficult stories.
Yeah,
and so I had to think of novel ways. So one of the things I said is, all the tenets they say about autism, I don't think they're correct. So they would say, keep everything same. I would take them out into a novel situation. So if you go to the Bombay Museum, where the stuffed animals and all are there, it's all glass.
Yeah.
And my mentor would say, what is this? You know, this guy bashes up everything and you're going right
for trouble.
And I used to say, you watch. Let's take it.
Okay.
And once this child who was with 3 persons tied up and all, I said, leave him. And I said, Nihar, come on, we are walking together. We're going to see all these animals which is in these showcases. And I managed that. And then everybody saw the strength in being able to connect. So the first part of the FACE program is facing autism and creating an environment for change. The minute Nihar knows that I'm taking him to a novel show place and showing him, he is going to say, oh, this is nice from being in my cell where I'm caught all the time. But so then he gets faith in me.
Yeah, and I mean the most obvious opposite of what you have done is that the fear of not being able to take them. So for example, if there is a parent, which I have seen in my life, they know that this child is used to breaking everything. First, if they dare to take the child in a showroom like that or a shop like that, they will be scared. I have seen, because they're then constantly so alarmed. So how did you were you scared or?
I was never scared. With the students, I was never scared.
Because it's very difficult to not be scared, because they're huge sometimes and they have so much of energy sometimes, because you are not like Dara Singh, you are tiny.
No. My case study, Vasudha, she was much plumper than me and she was young. She was older than me.
They can just pin you down and...
The first time when I took her to the railway station, took her to Neral station, and I told the guard कि जब तक बच्चे नीचे नहीं आएंगे आप गाड़ी मत चलाना, because she would take, depth perception was a problem, so she wouldn't have come down, and she was going for the first time in a train at the age of 29 years, and very difficult, screaming, shouting and all. So I pulled the chain and stopped the whole train. I told the guard कि उनको उतरने दो ना पहले. So several such incidences where we transform behavior on the spot at that time. You see, transformation will only take in a little slow or a brain when he experiences the rush of winning.
Correct.
Okay, so when I take Nihar out, and though he is considered to be violent and he's tied with 3 dupattas, he has 2 people holding, and I say, release him. I say, Nihar, hold my hand. Okay, let's walk. He gets that self-confidence that here somebody has faith in me and I can do this, and this is beautiful, this is nice. And then slowly, gradually, he wants to conform and be part of the group. It takes a long while. But triggering them is not going to help, but conforming. So novelty, they say, I think novelty is the most essential thing for students. That is why we have a place called ABODE, which is a huge experimental space for these students. They can run, scream, shout where they want, and they will get tired and come to their classroom. Because that energy is released and they don't need a medication for that.
This is, where is it? It's in Karjat.
Yeah.
It's a huge property that you have set up where special children with special needs come, they stay.
Yeah.
Their parents can also stay.
Yeah.
And
so it's a training, it's a skill training space. And once they're trained with us, they can get jobs outside. Okay. So we have 4 or 5 verticals there, and they can have long-term stay with us also.
So there's an opportunity for everyone who's looking for a correct place. Radhike ma'am. So now we were talking about the change in the society. And you were saying पहले उनको पागल बोलते थे. Has it changed now? पागल नहीं बोलते हैं आप, definitely. I'm really sorry to use this word, but I still see, like, majority of India अभी भी एयरपोर्ट्स पे अगर ऐसे कोई बच्चा कूद रहा है तो अभी भी अडल्ट्स भी हैं जो उनको देख के हंसते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि उनको पता है कि शायद ये ऑटिस्टिक है या डाउन सिंड्रोम है या कुड बी एनीथिंग एल्स. इंस्टेंटली वो मजाक ही उड़ाते हैं, दे मेक फन ऑफ इट.
करेक्ट.
तो आई जेन्युइनली थिंक दैट अवेयरनेस अभी भी बहुत कम है. बट आप इसको एवरीडे one-on-one हैंडल करते हैं, तो यू कैन टेल मी बेटर दैट हैज इट चेंज्ड मच.
So awareness at many levels is required for special needs as well as for mental illness and mental health.
Correct.
Which is very, very poor in our country. Awareness has to rise at every segment, every area in our country. So when I began, these kids were shunned. They were looked down upon. In the cities, there is some education today, so there is some sort of an acceptance.
Correct.
But in the cities, we want to conform and we want to be best, and somehow we have the West we want to compete with. And this is high performance levels that we are expecting in the city. So these children become a misfit in the city. In the village, they may not be understood, but they may not be written off. They may be written off as they cannot go into the normal workforce, but they may be more accepting. क्योंकि
वहाँ पे कम्युनिटी लिविंग अभी भी है बहुत.
सो उनसे एक्सपेक्टेशन कुछ नहीं है.
करेक्ट.
बिकॉज उनके पास कुछ साधन नहीं है उनको स्कूल लेके जाने के लिए. भले दिस गवर्नमेंट हैज डन अ लॉट फॉर दिव्यांग के लिए, फिर भी हमारे कंट्री में बहुत बहुत कुछ करना है. जैसे टिप ऑफ द आइसबर्ग, जहाँ हमने विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड और हमने हियरिंग इम्पेयर्ड के लिए काफ़ी कुछ कर लिया है. ये क्षेत्र में जो मेंटल रिटार्डेशन, they don't say mental retardation, we say mentally challenged, we say all fancy words today, but the areas where they need support, where the mind needs more nurturing, a lot has to be done.
Correct.
A lot is. So in the old system in India, we had a family system. We had a joint family system.
yes.
So these children always existed, but जब घर में थी कोई बुआ, ताई, मामा, चाचा, उसमें से वो पल जाते थे. अब जब न्यूक्लियर फैमिली हो गया ना, so it has become very difficult in a nuclear family or in a single parent family to bring these kids up because you need a support system. So I would say the change in the cities is about awareness, and the government is giving certain, certain
help and support,
certain strategies to help. But the magnitude of the problem in the country is so great that no matter what we have done till now, it doesn't really show up. So today, when I have from urban Mumbai gone into this really into rural Maharashtra, I feel उधर कुछ नहीं है. मुझे लगता है जैसे मैं 40 साल पहले काम कर रही थी मुंबई में, मैं वहीं पहुंच गई हूँ. हमारी सोशल वर्कर कहती है हमें, मैम वो तो दिखाते ही नहीं है इन बच्चों को.
वही सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम तो वही है.
और वो कहते हैं कि ये बच्चा कुछ नहीं करेगा, अगर आप भी स्कूल बस भेजेंगे तो क्या फ़ायदा, उसने तो कुछ करना ही नहीं है, वो इंडिपेंडेंट हो ही नहीं सकता.
So they have accepted कि कुछ नहीं होगा इसका.
तो उसको भी अभी येड़ा बोलते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं पागल है, वो कुछ नहीं करेगा. So the change, I would say, is minuscule, but there's a lot to be done, and change at every aspect would come. Just to share with you that the Silicon Valley also has a very high population of autism. So it's not that always the highly educated or the highly trained in what we think is the modern world today doesn't create special needs children with neurodiversity.
No, that's a myth.
Yeah.
Also, they also hide a lot. I also know a lot of places in Delhi where it's multimillionaire, billionaire, and blah 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 blah. They also hide it behind closed doors. So I don't understand what is the point of being educated and having so much money and comforts if you still can't speak about it. Because if they speak, then it will probably help the people, who are poor and economically challenged and all of that. I feel that. Because a rich person who has a lot of money, if they start doing things, they can always help poorer and, less privileged people.
So basically, I looked at these students very differently. अगर सब जने एक पूरे ब्रह्मांड के हिस्से हैं, तो उनको भी कुछ इसमें कंट्रीब्यूशन देना है.
बिल्कुल.
और जब हम उनको निकाल देते हैं, हम अपनी लाइफ को हार्ड कर देते हैं. And so the FACE program that I teach includes everybody because it's facing autism, creating an environmental change. It has 4 methods and it goes on to संतुलन. क्योंकि जब मुझे लगा कि पेरेंट्स का पहले संतुलन हट जाता है, जब उनका संतुलन हट जाता है, उनको सही राह दिखती ही नहीं है. और जो भी डॉक्टर्स बोलते हैं, इट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट जो एजुकेशनिस्ट एंड रिहैबिलिटेशन लोग बोलते हैं. डॉक्टर्स की फीस हाई होती है, टीचर्स को कोई कुछ भी दे दो चलता है. This is where India needs to change.
Absolutely.
The educator should be the most well-paid profession in the country.
Absolutely.
And if we start changing at that level, this country will rise further and further.
Yeah, because if a teacher, educator is happily teaching, imagine how many lives he can change. Like,
correct.
In every, even in a normal school or a neurotypical school, everywhere, what I'm trying, jo aap keh rahe exactly. So yeah, I also feel my mom and dad were professors of economics, so I know they were very happy teaching.
Yeah. So a medical profession and the allopathy can only give you this much. Yes, I did move to Ayurveda and homeopathy to help these children, and I found that extremely helpful. I found it very real, addressing to problems. And the best part about doing these therapies is it takes time, and healing takes time.
Absolutely.
So if you see the brochure of ABODE, it talks about art as healing. So in my journey, when I went into a meditative phase and I understood how it would be a new way of training and teaching, and actually I was just creating from my soul and from the soul of the child, it was all about healing. It was a journey of healing. So we may say we all have our karmas and we have walking our journey of karmas, but it's all about healing.
It is.
So when the parents are put into that phase that they are into this healing journey with their child, you will not need allopathy. You will see life differently. You will see life complete. What we do is by saying segregating them and saying X is down, X is autistic, we segregate them from the whole. And we are part of the whole. And that is after 25 years, a Swiss scholar wrote my work. It's called the VR Purnitva. V stands for Vasudha, my case study. R stands for my name, Radhike. And Purnitva is the sloka that I was enamored by. It talks about all of us in the Sanatan Dharam. We come from the whole. We are whole when we are living our lives here, and we go back to the whole. So that is where I found the answer for these children. कि ये भी कुछ कम नहीं है, ये भी पूरे हैं, पूर्णत्वा हैं. ये हमारा देखने का विजन बदलना चाहिए. So therefore I don't have too many medical doctor friends, and I don't need them in my training facilities. And truly so, we don't need a medical person there unless there's a fracture or there's a fall or there's a hurt. That but for the mind, you need a calmer place, a happier environment. You need flora and fauna. You need animals.
Connect with the nature.
Yes, that heals,
Calm down,
and that's what Om ABODE is all about. It's not about numbers. It's not about healing people at large numbers. Whoever requires the healing, whichever child requires, heals. It also heals us, my staff members.
Absolutely.
Because all of us are on our journey.
I was coming to that two things. That first, now after working for so many years, you have reached a point where your vision has shifted. You have understood from it a larger perspective. Everything is oneness. But how do you explain this to a parent who has just realized that the child has either a Down syndrome or autism, and it's not possible, right?
एक विवेक होना पड़ता है कि जब हम एक्सेप्ट करेंगे बात को और हम सच्ची बात बोलेंगे उन्हें, तो उन्हें समय शायद लगे और कुछ इमोशंस भी आए. पर आज जो पेरेंट्स मेरे को मिलते हैं 25 साल के बाद या 30 साल के बाद, तुम्हें ये बताया था कि मेरी बच्ची वॉक करेगी और मैं उसको क्रेडल में लेके आई थी. सो as a rehabilitational personnel, you have to be honest. Correct. And even if that honest is going to sometimes be a little bitter, it is okay. It is for the well-being of the child. There is no point to mollycoddle, because you have that window frame 0 to 10 to make them walk, talk and run. After 10, it is very difficult. It's 1 to walk, 2 to talk. You can stretch it till 7 years. So you got to, at that time, tell the parents, koi baat nahi, if there's a problem somewhere, we'll fix it, we'll work it out with you. Let's accept it and work. So the most important thing is to make the parents accept the situation and work through the situation. Because it is today well known, but I understood it very much early in my meditative years, is within 365 days, you have new cells in your body.
Yes.
So you can change the neural pathways. So when I was doing brain activities,
once again, so that people know this is such a scientific thing, and people don't realize it. Say it once again, so that you can 365 days.
Yeah, in 365 days, your entire body cells change.
Yes, it does.
So you can create the new neural pathways. When you're facing and bringing the shift. And constantly. I and you cannot bring the shift for someone else. That person has to make the shift themselves.
Yes.
So first I had to understand it myself. That I need to have a certain discipline, certain regime, certain things for myself. Then I will be able to help my students to shift and change.
It must have been a very profound experience for you to be experiencing what you're saying and then implement it to, because unless and until you go through it in your being, like as you said, you did Vipassana. You know, when you meditate and when you go through an experience, that's when the whole transformation happened. So I'm sure you have gone through some incredible transformations for you to be able to first experience it and then be able to tell it to others, because I know what it is. But we will not go there, we'll talk about it later.
Well, it probably was a profound experience, but it was very natural.
Yeah,
for me.
but
I didn't make a do about it. I just got into working, because regularly after that I went into art of living. I'm an art of living teacher, and I found that what Gurudev teaches was so natural to me, and in what I could do in 11 days there, I did it in 3 days in an advanced course. And that journey of mine helped me to see these children in a larger perspective, in a deeper way. And his philosophy is so naturally talks about how you need to be grounded, how you need to be disciplined, and how you need to have the right viveka. So doing those 4 days advanced courses for me were extremely helpful when I was working with mentally challenged children. They helped me to keep my inner core strong. And also, yes, maybe these experiences were profound, but I just worked with them naturally. So very often my team used to say, "Ma'am, समझा दीजिए ये कैसे होता है?"
नहीं होता है.
Yeah, my mentor, she used to watch and she said, "How do you do this? How do you know this child is walked in so mal like this,
Because
and he
you're
will be a
connected
chef?"
with the energy. You're connected with the. It happens. It's like how intuition works.
I
You
never
intuitively
analyzed.
know.
Yes, you intuitively.
It always happens when you're like at one point when you connect to your being, then you are also connected with the being consciousness of the universe. Okay, we are going in different direction, but this is how it is. So now, I just wanted to understand. You know, it might sound strange. Who are easier to deal with, the parents or the special children? Because sometimes I feel that parents of special children are more. They would be acting sometimes more childish than the children. So sometimes, with who are more difficult to deal with, them or the children, or both?
So students, I never have an issue. I just take them, and they're so fond of me. I don't know, for the life of me, I think I'm trying to put them in a certain discipline, but they're very fond of me. And any boyfriend of mine can be jealous the way they kiss me, you know. They won't let go of my cheek for the next 5 minutes.
I've seen that. They're always like hovering around you, like, and smiling and sending you hearts, and I've seen it every time I've come to
So
anywhere.
students for me are easy. I always talk to God and always say, भगवान आपने ये आपका जो आए है डिवाइन सोल हमारे सामने, आप इसको क्या करेंगे? So my fight is with him, as why you created this, what is the reason to do it initially. Today I take it very much in my stride. Parents, of course, they go for this medical intervention that sometimes I feel corrupts the whole thinking. The medical world, because the medical world has a very narrow window, and it doesn't talk so much of rehabilitation, it talks about medicine. And when I turned to Ayurveda, I understood the strength in the jari booties, the strength that was there in a massage, the strength that was to rejuvenate your cells, your atoms. Where do you get the energy from? You know, when you burn out energy, where do you get the energy from? So for me, this came naturally because I love flowers and gardening and what each flower can give, what each petal can give, each rise. So if you come to Om ABODE, the CEO of the Om ABODE, he will tell you that Dr. Khanna knows every leaf and stone here, and she talk about the energy of the leaf and the stone here. But that atom that makes us.
Absolutely.
And अगर हम उस पत्थर को समझ सकते हैं, it becomes easier to understand the human being, because it's all connected. And when we can see these connections, then we will see how our life, which was the way we came from as Hindus, is so natural to us. It is so natural to us.
It is all connected.
Yes, it is all connected. So my whole exploration was, why are they separate? And why can't we include them, and how to include them? So my whole process of my 40 years of work has created a new pathway, a new light, a new way of looking at human beings. And everybody is part of that human metric system. why put them aside?
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
And parents, if you ask me, they get caught into that
they do.
academic thing. So when they come to a teacher, वो साधु संत डॉक्टर सबको
सबसे
मिलके
होके आ चुके
हमारे पास लास्ट में आते हैं, तो हमारा विंडो बहुत छोटा होता है बच्चे को ठीक कराने के
वही
लिए.
वही वही मैं कहना चाह रही हूँ. पहले ही वो इतना थक चुके होते हैं, सब रॉन्ग ट्रीटमेंट्स या आई डोंट नो रॉन्ग, बट यू नो आई थिंक उनका सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट होप होता है कि हर पेरेंट का होप होता है कि हमारा बच्चा ऐसा हो. Probably जब वैसा नहीं होता है, that the vision get crushed, and everybody who gives them that hope कि हम ऐसा हो सकता है, they keep going to them till the time, by the time they reach you where you shift their perspective that this is also beautiful, your child is beautiful, they're exhausted by then. And I have seen parents who they're like, I can't, but when they go to a person, a doctor, an educator like you, and then they shift, they go on another trip of guilt. Why didn't we do this before?
Very true.
Then it's another journey of another 5 years. They go on a guilt trip and then they curse themselves and they're not happy. So that's another discussion. So coming to another point, Radhike ma'am, कि जो caretakers होते हैं, जो educators होते हैं, उनको train करना और उनको ऐसे situations में उनका मोरल सपोर्ट करना, हाउ डिफिकल्ट इट इज़ एंड हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट इट इज़, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट ईजी. नॉट ईजी कि आपको एक मतलब वायलेंट अग्रेसिव दांत काट रहे हैं, बाल नोच रहे हैं. इट्स तो प्लीज़ उस पर थोड़ा लाइट दीजिए दैट हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट इट इज़ ऑल्सो फॉर probably parents to understand that that is also a very difficult part of taking care of their children, you know.
Caregiving,
Because
everybody cannot do.
Exactly.
First thing is caregiving everybody cannot do. If you find people with good सूक्ष्म, उनमें एक सूक्ष्म अंडरस्टैंडिंग होनी पड़ती है, क्योंकि इसमें हमारे इस क्षेत्र में 95% of the children don't talk. You have to understand the you have to understand that. That's another language. Okay, it's strange, but these kids relate with animals very well.
Yeah,
because it's the sound and it's the feeling in the sound that you connect with. So, caregiving, everybody can't be. 2, if you have a good care worker, it's worth $1 million because that child he's taking care of will never fall ill or sick. Because it's the emotion of the caregiver helps to heal that child. So somewhere we have to change the mindset from this podcast, is that special educators and educators should be the first most highly paid jobs.
Absolutely.
And then the care workers jobs. Yeah. Because सब अपने लिए करते हैं, पर कोई और किसी और के लिए करे, और हर दिन उठ के उसी उसी मन से करे,
मन से, भावना से, और
उसी विवेक से करे कि ये बच्चा ठीक हो जाए, ये बच्चा सुन ले, वो प्यार पड़ जाता है.
बिल्कुल.
और वो जो प्यार पड़ता है ना केयर वर्कर और बच्चे स्टूडेंट का, मैंने अक्सर देखा है कि माँ बाप के पास नहीं होता है. माँ बाप के पास ईगोइस्टिक होता है कि ये मेरा बच्चा ऐसा पैदा हुआ तो मेरे को उसको रखना चाहिए ठीक, और मेरे बगैर कोई नहीं रख सकता. बट आई हैव सीन केयर वर्कर्स ऑफ हाई क्वालिटी which beats the parenting. Really, I have actually seen that.
Of course, because
so parents have to realize that caregiving is a very, very special job. I wouldn't say it's a noble job, but it's a very special job and it's a very sensitive job. And इन लोगों का विवेक जो होता है ना, बहुत अच्छा होता है. And I catch it very quickly because maybe I had it in me, you know. So we've done all of it as teachers, clean potties and vomits and everything for them, because when you're caregiving, everything is part of the game, right?
Really?
Yeah. So, you take them on a holiday to Jaipur and suddenly you stop the car somewhere and they've shat all over and they've vomited all over, then you've got to clean them, right? So, caregiving is another space, and parents must change their mindset about caregiving.
Mm.
So in Om ABODE, if their caregiver is staying with the student, they say the same bed. I mean, similar bed.
Similar bed.
And I tell the parents, you have to pay the same amount.
Mm.
Because if the caregiver eats the ice cream, the student will eat his own ice cream.
Mm.
Otherwise, we don't know when that will not happen.
Mm.
So you have to give him the same status.
Yeah.
And rightly
It's very
so.
important.
Yeah, it's very important to give that respect to the caregiver.
Absolutely.
So parents cannot do that because they get very caught with emotions. And caregivers emotions में संतुलन होता है. जब कुछ गलत भी होता है ना तो बता देते हैं कि डॉक्टर खन्ना ये देख लीजिए ये ऐसे हो रहा था. तो वो जो संतुलन in my entire program, the final संतुलन in the parents is the last to come. It comes in teachers, it comes in society, but it comes the last in the parents.
So I think parents बहुत vulnerable भी होते हैं. They vulnerable इसलिए भी क्योंकि again expectations of the child.
क्योंकि तितिक्षा होनी चाहिए ना. जो जब हम टीचर्स होते हैं हमारे में विवेक के साथ तितिक्षा होनी चाहिए. फोरबेरेंस. कितना हम उसको मार रहा है हम उसको मारने दे रहे हैं. हमारा बाल पूट के दे रहा है and we are doing it and we're saying nothing. I'm going to change this kid. He's taken out my hair and given my hand and I'm saying I'm going to change this kid. So this is forbearance where you go beyond your ego, and you know
My
that
God.
So and I think my staff has seen me go through that. So then they.
I'm sure. 40 years. I'm sure many times they would have. Yeah,
so that forbearance in parents is much less. Ego comes in, hurt comes in, personal emotions come in. Whereas trained educators and good caregivers have far strong forbearance. Titiksha, नहीं मैडम हम करके देंगे. आपने कह दिया ना हम करके देंगे. आप फिक्र मत करिए.
Where do they? I mean,
they come from watching me work.
Wow.
And see, and the love the children give you in return.
Yes, that is also there.
You have to just walk with me one day into my center and see how much love I get.
I have seen.
So if somebody is getting violent and difficult and shouting and screaming, I'll say, okay, you have, this is it, and they will listen to you. But I will not fire them and hit them and kick them and keep them out of the system.
Absolutely. But also it's important, is it important that the caregivers, the educators, they also have to have a mental balance kind of. They should also have their own me time or somebody to talk to, or if not a therapist, some sort of a venting out kind of a program where they
Correct. So we have this on a daily basis. The reporting is on a daily basis. So you catch it early. You catch it immediately. We don't like other plans that after 1 week there's a meeting, we'll tell you. It's done
this is
then.
about the caregiver
this is
or
facing
the child?
The problem.
Both.
Caregivers, a burnout is very possible if you don't look after them.
Yes.
So if you need to have 2 caregivers for 24 hours, you should have 2 caregivers. And if it has a cost, let it be a cost, but you will not go into mental illness.
Absolutely, because then it's like a spiral down.
Correct. So caregivers, burnout is natural, and you need to shift and change. It's very important, and we look after that. We see that they get their offs, they get their timings, and generally they have a good relationship, at least where I work, and they will tell me, ma'am, instead of Sunday, can I get a Thursday off? I have this at home to do. My child's school to go, doctor to go. So we give that freedom that they have the friendliness with us, that we can shift and change.
More like a family.
Yeah. And we have what I always say, I have a Stepney in the system. So it helps everyone.
So you have not only helped children, you have gone a step ahead and you have created opportunities for them to become independent, to earn a living for themselves, which is the biggest fear every parent has, that हमारे बाद हमारे बच्चे का क्या होगा. So how did you think of it? Did you travel the world and you met a lot of people, or did you, I mean, somewhere at some point of time you must have given it a really hard thought, and that's how you would have come up with this. So could you please elaborate a little bit, because this is a very, I mean, I think it's incredible to make them independent and earn, because it's not easy.
maybe as a person, when I get into something, I get into it completely. I never do anything halfway. So once my students started earning, also there was a point where some parents passed away, and I saw how wonderful these children were. Also saw that the best of siblings could not look after them. They had their own journeys, and it was difficult. And so then we thought it was important to have a place where they did a workshop in South Bombay, and we can do a better version of that in rural India and work with the rural population. So it was a requirement, because they were used to having independence. They were earning members of society, and once their parents went away, their dreams all crushed. So as a trust, we took this, took it forward to create a space. That's why it's called ABODE. It's like a heaven for them, where in this 13 acres, they move freely. They have enough exercise if they went twice to the dining room, so they can digest their meal, and they can dance and walk and be themselves. At the same time, they can contribute by the skilling that we teach. So one of the main things in my doctorate that first came up to make them independent was earning members of society. So once that got done, then we wanted a bigger space, and that's why at ABODE we have the space. And that's a complete dynamics of this person who can contribute. And fortunately, when you do things with the right intent, I was very happy that 3 of my girls are married. They have spouses. So one of them is hearing impaired, and she got married second time to a hearing impaired boy. First time her mother got her married to a normal person who didn't turn out to be the right person. The other girl is married. Her mother took consent from me, and she's married.
She took consent from you?
Yeah, because she told me check out the guy and everything. And I said only one thing: no children. That's it.
No children.
You can live together happily, and whatever money she earned from Om Creations,
take care of yourself.
Her mother had bought a small little flat for her, so she lives with her spouse there. He's a gardener, and her mother is a maid, so it's nicely matched. And the other two, the boy was an orphan, and his wife, she came from slightly higher than being in a chawl system. But they are married for 6 years, and they are happy together, and they own at Om Creations. So this is the best impact I had. It was not something that I worked for. But once you become earning members in society, you can live your own life.
Yeah, like that is the biggest achievement. You're not asking to have food on your plate. You're earning it for yourself, which is so good.
And I think that my work is different is because I'm a quality person. I always wanted quality. And in India, Jugaad is so famous, but it doesn't work. If you want to make a mark of your own, you've got to have quality stuff. And to shift them from pagalpan to be accepted as artists in their own rights, it had to be quality all the time. How's the painting framed? How is the project looking? How are you presenting? It was very important for them to be accepted in society. So I took that extra effort to make them world class.
Yeah, they are world class. I have seen the paintings. Just now you showed me on the stones. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so it's been, I don't know. I don't want to stop talking. I want to know everything, but I know I can't know everything in just one podcast. But I just want to understand something that at any point of time in the beginning or somewhere, did you have these kind of questions that why am I doing this? Or should I just stop it, and why can't I have I'm just saying because, I feel that anybody who, including me, firstly, anybody who is on a spiritual path has these kind of questions. Secondly, it's not a very glamorous thing, right? Because that's what I'm saying. It's not glamorous means it's not even like a very, how do I say, it's not even normal according to the society, because it's absolutely lonely at times. It is with a lot of difficulties. You have to climb mountains every day. And
well said. Well said.
Yeah, every day you think you have become like you've reached the mountain top, and then again, then you wake up and you're like, oh shit, there's another mountain. It just the sunlight was not here, so I couldn't see. Now, and also probably the support of the friends or family or so many things. When you start a different path in your life, like this one, it's not easy. So did you have these kind of questions? Of course, I'm sure when you got into your spiritual practice, it would have given you an immense strength. But before that, these questions are like, they sometimes really shake you up. They do shake me up. So
नहीं, सबकी ज़िंदगी चुन के बन के आई है, और जब आप अपने पाथ में चलने लगते हो ना, तो आपके लिए सब कुछ खुल जाता है.
so true. You're so right.
So उसमें हम सोचते नहीं हैं,
करते हैं.
you just go ahead and do, and if you have the right people in the right company and the right people to encourage you, it may be different, but you are able to continue doing what your life journey is telling you to do. And I think in my home, the environment that I grew up, and the friends and people that came into my life, they were there to help and support me in this journey. So there wasn't this feeling that I'm doing anything grand. मुझे कभी ऐसे feeling नहीं हुआ जैसे आपने इतनी अच्छी तरह पूछा मुझे. मैं तो ऐसे ही चलती गई.
You seeing it from I'm seeing it from like an eagle's view, because what impact you're doing is, when you see it from like a eagle's eye view, then you see the impact. You are in it, as you said, as a parent they are in it, but as an educator you're away. So similarly, आप वो कर रहे हैं इसलिए आपको नहीं लग रहा है, पर हमको पता है उसका impact. So it's grand, definitely. So
thank you for that. Thank you for appreciating all the effort.
No, all the parents, look at them. They must be like so grateful to you. So always,
Yeah. So I'm happy that this was my path, and I met a lot of good people on this path. A lot of saints, lots of good thinking people, lots of intelligent people. Doors just opened up for meeting so many people. So much international work we've done, and this work has got international recognition. So it's today's youth and people, everything is with money and numbers.
Fast, everything is fast.
And that's the wrong game.
Absolutely. That's why there's also lots of the burning out very fast. There are no relationships, nothing, everything is like, oh, sorry to say, but this is the truth.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Relationships take time.
Everything takes time.
And you need to invest in them. And that's how they get built up over a period of time. And I'm happy to say that I have teams of people working with me for 30 years, 25 years. And that's what speaks about the work.
True.
It's not, the instant world is going to bring more burnouts and going to create more work for me in the area of mental illness. The instant world is not a world where you find depth. And when you don't have depth, then you go into things that you violate your own space.
Yeah, the validation is always, we are seeking it from outside. There's no truth coming from inside. So how do you find the joy? How do you find the centeredness? आप दूसरों को ही पूछते रहोगे मैं क्या हूँ, मैं कौन हूँ, मैं कैसे खुश रहूँ, मैं क्या खाऊँ, तो उससे कैसे खुशी मिलेगी? This is all inside. So this is very instant. So burnouts are very instant. So as you're saying, it's right that your work is gonna get more difficult, because earlier there were special children, neurodiverse children. Now neurotypical children in also getting into this depression and multiple things. I'm sorry, I'm not saying depression is, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying that it's at a much younger age today, according to me.
So the census say every 55th person in USA is on the phase of autism, and in India it's every 88th person. That's the diagnosis that is taking place.
88% in India?
Yeah. Disease Control of India, watch in the Google, you will get the answers. So the answer is not the fast-paced world. Santulan lana padta.
Santulan. Absolutely, balance is the key.
Or samadhan, find solutions and don't get into just the medical world.
and don't run away from it. As you said,
Mm.
face it.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
So this brings us to the end of our talk. I really want to talk everything, like so much more, but uh, given the time limitations that we have, thank you so much, Dr. Khanna. I'm very happy. I can't tell you how happy and joyous I am today to have you. And आपने time दिया, you came, shared your incredible journey. I'm sure there are there's so much more that you can, but we will have another chat.
Sure, thank you. Thank you
No,
so
thank
much, Amrita. And I'm
Before
happy you're doing this for these children. There are very few people who want to do this, and that you've thought of it and you have a nephew.
Yeah.
Such people like you who are in media, who are with the Bollywood, must do more of it because everybody looks up to Bollywood and Bollywood can bring change. So keep doing this. It's very important for my work, you know. So thank you
I
for
will try my best.
inviting
As
me.
you said, you're the chosen one. You have your karma. You just have to do it. I'm just doing my bit. That's
Yes.
all. So
Continue.
before we close, do you want to say anything to the parents, to the society, any like a message that you feel everyone should listen?
It's important when a challenge comes to our lives to take a pause and to do what is done with a lot of discrimination and understanding and not to follow the rut. And specifically in our area of ASD, there are lots of overnight people who come with saying this therapy works and this therapy works and this. So discrimination विवेका कि क्या really long term में ये बच्चे के लिए बेहतर होगा. What is going to be the best? What is the long term result and not the immediate result is we have to think for their lives. So I think that's what I would like to tell the parents. And what I like to tell the society at large is please look at special education as a career.
Yes.
It is a big need across the world.
Very important. Yeah. Very, very well said. Both the points very well said, because we anyways need teachers and educators, but special educators, please people wake up. we need a lot of children to be nurtured and loved and be created into beautiful human beings, adults. So yes, as ma'am said, we all need that. So on that note, thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste.
Hi, if you connect with the talk and you want to be a part of the change to bring awareness for special children, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.